Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Whitwell Community College Concert Band presentation that we call Merry Melodies and Christmas Cheer. I'm Randy Lilly, and we're glad to have you with us tonight. Would you help us welcome our director to the podium, Mr. Frank Pugh. And would you please rise, remove your hats, and place your hand over your heart as we play our nation's national anthem. Orchestra in 1996. And the band soared to popularity when they began touring in 1999 after completing their second album, The Christmas Attic. At every tour stop, the group donates $1 or more from each ticket sold to a local charity in the city where they are performing. Here is one of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra's energetic hits entitled Appalachian Snowfall. Hear What I Hear was written in October 1962 by Noel Regney and Gloria Shane. Regney had been invited by a record producer to write a Christmas song, and so the pair, married at the time, wrote it as a plea for peace during the Cuban Missile Crisis. Few holiday songs can boast being recorded by so many varied artists, or for maintaining such a high level of continued popularity. Based on the version recorded by the cast of Glee on their second Christmas album, here is Do You Hear What I Hear? Iditarod is a musical depiction of the annual Iditarod Trail Dog sled race between between the Alaskan cities of Anchorage and Nome that covers over 1,000 challenging miles of jagged mountain ranges, dense forests, and windswept coastlines. In cinematic fashion, the musical point of view cuts back and forth between the dog's view and an eagle's view, constantly moving forward with a relentless pulse. With a brief respite, a majestic sweeping theme is introduced and develops, and then back to the race. With renewed energy, the dogs run the final stretch, the music building and intensifying to the very end. This work is a favorite seasonal song, wishfully heard at the start of winter. A variety of attractive styles applied to the melody are a serenade, jazz, waltz, and even a march. But the wonderful melody is always front and center. We hope you enjoy variations on Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow. On this day, the earth shall ring, is a setting of the glorious first movement of Holst's Winter Suite. The work incorporates the striking 16th century carol and features antiphonal trumpets in the opening. Here is Robert W. Smith's arrangement of On This Day, the Earth Shall Ring. next selection is a Christmas novelty song written by John Rocks in 1953. I was 1 year old. It was performed by Gayla Peavy, 10 years old at the time, and peaked at number 24 on Billboard magazine's pop chart in that same year. Peavy was born in Oklahoma City, and the Oklahoma City Zoo and the local newspaper picked up on the popularity of the song and Peavy's local roots. They launched the Gayla Peavy Hippo Fund, so Peavy could be presented with an actual hippopotamus on Christmas. Well, the campaign succeeded, and she was presented with an actual hippopotamus, which, as had been planned all along, she donated to the city zoo. Darn it. Leonard Cohen is reputed to have written about around 80 to as many as 180 draft verses for Hallelujah. The song was initially rejected by Columbia Records, so Cohen released the song on an independent label. It didn't hit the Billboard charts until Cohen's death in 2016. Although not a holiday-themed song, it has found its way into the Christmas season repertoire over the years. WCC band lost 3 people who were standouts in the band's history. Founder and director, Dr. Jacko White, the band's second director and arranger, Bill Sveck, and longtime announcer and trumpet player, Craig Allison, who was also a founding band member. As the pandemic began to fade, founding member Dan Jones expressed the desire to make a contribution to honor these gentlemen for their contributions to the WCC Concert Band. Dan's idea transformed into having a commissioned piece written in their memory. The piece is written in a concert march style to reflect the fondness that both Bill Sveck and Jack White had for the genre. The source material comes from 2 hymns that Dr. White had discussed with founding trumpeter Mark Alderman. A Mighty Fortress is Our God, and God of Our Fathers. Bill Sveck had arranged these hymns to be played at Dr. White's funeral as he had requested, but the pandemic conditions prevented that from taking place until after Bill had passed on as well. The bombastic, uplifting mood of the piece is intended to symbolize Craig Allison's love for Western movies. One of the thoughts behind the commission is that it might also be performed in memory of other band members, and our former bassoonist, Mr. Dan Felty, did recently pass away. Danny spent his career as a band and choir director in the Roanoke area, was a church choir director for over 50 years, and played in the Roanoke Symphony Orchestra. Leslie Copenhaver also recently passed away, and Leslie played trumpet in the WCC band. We'd like to remember both Danny and Leslie as well and have them included near the end of the slide presentation. The WCC band has been in existence for more than 3 decades, and some of the musicians of this group have passed on over the years. We hope that this piece would honor their memory and contributions to both the band and the community. We'd like to thank Dan Jones for his initiative in getting this project started and completed. We'd also like to thank Rhonda Catherine Wood, Whitfield Community College, Deanna Bradbury, composer Joshua Idio, and the many other people who have made this memorial possible. Here is the world premiere of March for a Band So Mighty.
I'm Dean Sprinkle, president of Whitfield Community College. Appreciate everyone being here this evening. Following up on the comments that were just made, we want to share just a little bit more information and possibly recognize a few folks by having them stand. But first, let's give this wonderful group another round of applause. And of course, a huge thank you to our director, Frank Pugh, and to the members of the WCC Concert Band for this lovely performance, with so much more to come this evening. As has been mentioned tonight, we do memorialize folks who were instrumental in the success of the WCC Concert Band. A special commissioned musical composition in honor and memory of Dr. Jack White, Mr. Bill Sveck, and Craig Allison, who sadly, of course, we have lost over these past few years. Again, the name of this commissioned piece is The March for a Band So Mighty, again by Joshua Alexander Idio, who is a Filipino-American composer who is a conductor and a trumpeter and now resides in New Jersey. This community band, the 3 decades go back all the way to 1989 and started with Jack White when he returned to Whitfield as an adjunct professor at WCC. White recruited many of his former students from his time with George Wythe High School as the band director there to establish this concert band. The band remained then under his direction until 1998 when Bill Sveck, another former George Wythe High School band director and as well a local WYVE radio host, took the baton. Sveck led the band for another 15 years before retiring in 2013. A little bit more about Craig, who was so recognizable during these performances as he made announcements. Craig Allison was a founding member of the WCC Band and was also a local WYVE radio host. Mr. Allison performed during his high school years for the George Wythe High School Marching Band under Jack White's direction. Mr. Allison also emceed the WCC Concert Band performances for many years prior to his death in February of 2021. We mentioned Dan Jones earlier. Thank you, Dan, for sponsoring this special tribute. Dan Jones, retired WCC Division Chair and English Professor, served as the band's concert master and administrator of activities for the band's beginning in 1989 until retiring from WCC and moving away from the area in 2003. Dan and his wife Rita are here tonight. Dan, if you and Rita will stand up and be recognized. We would also like to recognize Bill Speck's family, some of whom may possibly be here. I have not seen them directly, but if Joy, Bill's wife, is here, or daughter Laura, are you here? If you are, please stand and be recognized. Are there any other family members? And unfortunately, Jack's sons, Reginald and John, were not able to travel from their home in Florida, but tonight's performance is being recorded for all of the family members to share. The White family did send a message, which I will share with you. Wytheville Community College brought so much happiness and love to our family over the years, and the WCC Band was a fantastic and heartfelt way for Dad and Mom to give back and to receive the love of music expressed through and for the community. We offer gratitude for this tribute to Dad, Bill, and Craig Allison. Thank you. I believe that we do have possibly one or more of Dr. White's college friends and Elon University bandmates with us tonight. Dr. Barry Simmons, if you are here, will you please stand and be recognized? Thank you, Barry. Are there any other Elon classmates here? Members of the Allison family are not here this evening, but they also send their gratitude for all that the WCC Concert Band has done to honor Mr. Allison. We are providing a recording for the Allison family as well. And on a final note, I'd like to thank each of you for attending this special performance this evening, and everyone at WCC would like to wish you and yours a joyous holiday season. Randy, it's back to you.
If you haven't heard your favorite Christmas song yet, then just hold on. Here is a musical whirlwind of Christmas carol snippets nestled between excerpts from the Nutcracker. Listen fast, as there are over 20 holiday references jammed into just over 2.5 minutes for a major dose of Christmas cheer. Here's Christmas in a nutshell. It just seems right to close out a winter concert with Leroy Anderson's sleigh ride. So, from all of us to all of you, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and thanks so much for coming. Merry Christmas, Frank. That concludes our evening's performance, so thanks everyone for coming out and sharing part of your holiday season with us. And be sure to bring your trumpet in January, or whatever horn you play. There's always room for more. Good evening.